So you said you played, and that was one of my questions too. That you played for Željko, and I was wondering, playing for Željko versus coaching versus Željko, what something you can maybe that help you to coach against him, that you know how he thinks, you know what he's looking for, because a lot of times as a coach, you're trying to think what the other coach is thinking. You're trying to think of how they will prepare for you. And then there's a balance between that and also how you prepare for them, because you have to think about your team as well. So I was wondering, after playing for Željko and then coaching against him, how much did you think about what he was thinking versus thinking about your own backyard?
Yeah, well, for me, let's say the biggest percentage, it's my team. That's my biggest percentage. I think, let's say, scouting the other team, scouting the other coach, thinking about what the other coach is going to do. I think it's important. But for me, the most important thing is make sure my team is able to compete at the highest level that the team can. What do I mean with this? If I lose too much time on thinking what Željko is going to do, what Barthokas is going to do, I think I'm getting the focus out of my team. I think it's very important to stay on your team and know what you can do and believe in what you can do, maybe to hurt the other team, maybe to hurt, I don't know, Barthokas or Željko at this time. I know Željko, for sure, like you said, using the example of Željko, I learned a lot of things from him during the years that he coached me and the way he prepared games. I always have a very good example of how he treated players, and it was on me. So I'm going to count it because it was on me with him coaching. We played the final against Verona. Remember, it was European Cup, I think, and we played Verona with Jusolino at the point. So the 2 weeks before he started practicing, he used to go, you, Pablo, you rest. And then all of a sudden, Pablo, get in and play. So it was like this. And usually it was Antúnez and me. And he started using somebody else at the point, Odiroga or Santos. But I was always on the bench at the beginning of practice. So I was like, okay, probably I think too much as a player. But I was like, why is he doing this to me? And he was not Željko probably worrying about me, like behavior or anything. No. He was just blah, 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 blah. So the final comes. First half, we were so-so. I didn't play a minute. So I was like, we're in a final. I think I can get into this game, blah, 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 blah. So we go at halftime, and I go to the bathroom. And Željko sneaks behind me. And he goes, Pablito, what happens? I'm like, no, nothing. No. Let's go. We got to play better in the second half, blah, blah, and get the victory. Yeah. Are you ready to play? I'm like, yeah, for sure. It's final. I'm ready to play. But are you ready to play? Seriously? I'm like, yes. Okay, then go out there. So the second half starts. And 5-6 minutes after the halftime, he starts looking at me. And all of a sudden he goes, Pablito, get, I don't know, Antúnez or Santos, whoever. So he comes up to me when I'm sitting on that little bench. They put you back on the desk. And he comes like, Pablito, please, let's win the game now. So I played very good. And I played like, I don't know, 10 minutes more or less. And the last 3 minutes, we were winning like by 15. So all of a sudden, I see substitution. So he took me out. And I was playing, very good. But we already have more or less the victory. So it was a good moment, let's say, for a point guard, to control the game, blah, blah. So he sat me down. Oh, okay. So when I came to the bench, he went like, Pablito, very good. We won the game. Sit down and rest. You did enough. So I was like, well, after the game, he spoke to me in 1 minute. He said, Pablito, listen, simple, huh? You cannot stop Jusolino. So I killed Jusolino with Antúnez, Santos. They did a great job. So when you got in, Jusolino had no legs. So you could do your thing.
Slowly prepared.
Yeah. So I always have that situation in my head. The way he managed to win the game. Okay, if I put Pablo at the beginning, he's not defend as well as Antunes can do it or Ismael Santos, but Pablo can be good when Juscelino gets tired, blah, blah. So he prepared the game very well. So we're talking about a great coach with a great mind and with a clear plan. At that moment, as a player, probably I thought, this guy's crazy, he's killing me, he's stupid, whatever. But now, 20 years after, I'm like, that's a great move. He was
genius,
very smart.
Genius,
that was a genius, and he was very smart. Okay, now that now we play each other, and I watch the way he managed games, he managed his players. I always think he always have those preparation things on his head and makes the players understand what he wants at that moment. And it was funny because when he told me that after the game, it was very simple for me to realize, damn, he's right.
Yeah.
Because, the egoism you say in English, ego,
yeah.
of me as a player at that moment was like, I should have played more, blah, blah. But for him, his only ego was, let's win.
Yeah.
I use Pablo 7 or 10. So that's something that for me it's good about Zelko. It's great, and I always think that he's going to use it when you play against him.
It's also he put you in the best position to succeed. Also, not only for the team, but also for the player to look as good as possible. So he's trying. Every coach should try to maximize the team, but also maximize the player in whatever role, whatever they do best. And that's probably the hardest part, to balance the two.
Yeah, that's a great point, because at the end, well, that's como se dice, anécdota. This what I told you, this story, this little story makes all these things to talk about. It's like, okay, he put me on the right position to play good.
Yes.
To help the team and to win the game. So it's not only about, okay, I'm coaching Real Madrid and you did it good or bad because you put a zone, you did it good or bad because you took out of bounds, you did it good or bad because you put this player. And a lot of times coaches will get criticized for that. What I understand, because people watches the game from outside, and I don't know, if I watch a game tonight, I would probably criticize any coach saying I wouldn't do that. But only the coach is the one who is, like we talked about Guardiola, he is under control. And I think Zelko is a monster doing that, on controlling situations and controlling his team and getting the best out of his team.